It looks like it look. It looks like I was having some technical issues here. I wonder why this wasn't working. So annoying. Hopefully I recorded some of my success. All right, there we go. I got sound again. I got everything back. All right, let me mute this. All right, well, anyways. So, okay. I am back. Sorry about that. If you were watching and it got disconnected. All right, so I just got everything basically running. I think I should now be able to get the score. And what we're going to do is I'll probably just wind up changing the UI for the game. So it shows you like the score that you got, and then it'll show you your best score. So let's just die here real quick, and we'll just make sure that it outputs the score correctly. Yep, there we go. Best score. 843. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to reserve this for the monthly contest, and then all this will be this like ongoing, or maybe this will be like a weekly contest, and this will be the monthly stuff. And what I'd probably wind up doing is just redesigning this to have recurring contests. Oh, I need some music. There we go. So what we should do is let's get this to actually display the rank correctly. So all right, so this is the online rank. What match leaderboard item score manager, stats manager, update stats. So there should be I should have a class here called stats. All right, let's get rid of this. Generate stat text. So what I want to do is, if you're just tuning in, I had some technical difficulty early on. I actually so scoring is working now. I'm able to submit a score to GameOn, and I'm able to get back your rank and the best score that you've done. And what I'm trying to figure out right now is I want the game over screen to basically reflect that. So what will happen is when the game is over, what we're going to do is let's just die real quick. When the game is over, in parentheses we'll show your best score and your ranking. So this will be the current score that you get. This will be the rank and your best score, and then down here we'll have a global score. And what I'll probably do is like once a month I'll have these leaderboards change out once a month. But then this leaderboard will be the weekly challenge to see who can get the first prize. And like one of the things that the way that like I've seen a lot of the GameOn stuff is that you actually like let the player enter the contest themselves. What I'm thinking of doing is that you'll just always be entered in, and we'll go from there. Why is I feel like this thing is not stretched out correctly. Like I always see this like little gap here. I was thinking of making it like -1, -1, -1, and -1. This way it always stretches out. Let's copy this component, stop this. Cool, we're back to that error. I have no clue what that is. Paste component values and save. All right. So what I'm thinking is that in stats, we basically generate out the stat text. And it doesn't generate out stat text. And then here we calculate the rank. We call calculate rank and we submit rank retriever submit score. What does calculate rank do? All right, it returns this. What I'm thinking is I got to have some sort of callback here. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to rank retriever. What I'm trying to think of doing is every time that if the game is over, we call calculate rank. And what it's going to look for is a cached rank, and if that rank doesn't exist, it will make the request to submit the score and then return and force the display to re-update itself. And this way what will happen is like each rank that comes back in, we'll just have it redraw. So let me think through how I want to architect this real quick. All right, so we're going to calculate the rank and we're going to pass in the stat value. And we're going to remove this, and when we call calculate rank, we're going to, if rank retriever equals null, fine. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to submit the score. Get rank. Yeah, okay, that's, all right, I see what we're going to do. Stat value, stats manager, get stat value. All right, so when we get rank, we are going to submit the score. And then the stat value, stat label. Now I just want to make sure the stat label is correct. Stat, get rank. All right, so we're going to call this, we're actually going to call this twice. We're going to call this stat. Action. Callback. And what we're going to do is when we submit the score, start coroutine, enter match. There's two ways we could do this. I think what I want to do is public string all right, I don't like the way that I'm doing this right now. I got to figure this out because what happens is everything is asynchronous. So like, or I gotta basically get this thing to respond correctly. So let's start with this. Well, we're gonna basically call this twice. Well, we're gonna call it lots of times. Every time we make a request for a rank, we are going to display nothing where there's no rank. All right, here's what I want to do. Update display. So there's like two ways that I could basically do this. One is I could just repaint the entire display as each rank comes in, and then just keep calling this update display, and it'll keep updating itself. Or I can go and make I can break up each item into its own text field, and then when I make a request, it'll update itself once it's done. And that's what I'm trying to think here of when I look at the way the online rank is. When we come here and we get tournament list, I haven't really used that right now. Let's see here. Authenticate. On it to start. We authenticate, we're good to go. Test, get matches, dictionaries, get rank, submit score, enter match. All right, so submit score. So here, when we get to submit score, or when we call get rank, when we get the rank, we submit the score. And then what we want to do is return this rank when it's completed. So here we start coroutine to enter the match. When we enter the match, we start a coroutine for posting the score. When we're done posting the score, we get the rank. So what I probably want to do is player get rank, score submitted. I need to keep track through this process. In fact, rename. So what I want to do when we enter a match is the way that I have this thing set up is that the scores, each of the high scores winds up being a match. Wait, what did I break? Calculate rank. Int value, and we're going to pass this in. And when we call get rank, this needs to be an int. Submit score. It's going to be an int. Enter match value. All right, so we passed that all the way down. The chain, I'm breaking everything. Online rank does not implement an interface. Let's get rid of that interface, which we don't need anymore. And then stats, stat value. This is going to be an int. Calculate rank. Should be the stat, and then here it should be the stat value. right? So so basically, whenever we generate the game over text, we are going to submit the score and get back. We want to get back the rank based on that score. So we go to calculate rank, we get the rank, and then we do the stat value. Then when we calculate the rank, we come in here, we ask the rank retriever to get the rank. I'm just thinking like there's a lot of things I need to think through here. I guess I wanted to like work on something else today, but I should probably wrap this up. Add GameOn. No, I didn't do that. Route all static class messages to the display. Get rank. Well, we're still working. Oh, get rank. How about display? Oops. Now we'll just leave it like this. Submit this, and here we will add display best score and rank. What I want to do is make this system sort of consistent. I was just looking at my messages. So it's got a few email messages. All right, so online rank. I don't know, we could just do this like the sort of crappy Unity way, where let's just do this. Public stats, and then whenever we submit score, enter match, post score, get rank. Here we would do something like update display. Update display. So what I'm basically doing is I'm gonna get a, for right now, let's just do this. If stats, stats doesn't equal, doing Lua again, doesn't equal, oh my god, doing null. So if we have the stats, what we're gonna do is we're gonna update these stats. And here what we need to do is we need to cache the stat stuff. So let me do this. Public void clear cache. And then I'm going to add a public dictionary string. Actually, what do I want to, how do I want to do this? Yeah, that's what we'll do. String. We're going to cache all of the ranking stuff. So what I wanted to see was here we generate out the stat text. Where do we generate the rank? Calculate rank. I'm going to move all of this into online rank here. var rank equals response dot current player dot rank. Var score equals response current player score. What I'm going to do is once we get back the rank, I'm just going to create the text that would become the rank in this class and return that. Instead of storing like the rank value and then the score and all that stuff, I'm just going to concatenate it. So basically what we'll do is when we return a rank, we're going to cache the rank based on the match, and then we'll do it on the match name or we're gonna have to pass in a bunch of other stuff. I don't think the response dot match leaderboard. No, there's no name on this stuff. Neighbors current response. I wonder if I stored the match ID, I could probably come back and find... All right, we have the match ID, so I'm not... Let me just do this here. I should get the match ID still from being passed in, so... All right. Also, we need the template. And add ordinal. I feel like I'm breaking a lot of stuff here, but it's fine. I don't want to return. What I want to do is rank cache. Rank cache. Right now we'll just do it to match ID equals this. Well, we'll do add match ID and pass in the rest of this garbage. All right, so that should cache the rank as a string formatted correctly. Because what this is actually going to be is it's going to be something like this, where we'll have the best score in parentheses. It'll be the best score with the ranking value in there. Okay. All right, I think that's close. I'm kind of curious to how badly I broke this thing. Best overload for method stats. Calculate rank. Update display. Calculate rank. Right. So when we come here to calculate the rank, we are putting in I need to get the value for the final score. Let's get rid of this real quick. We'll deal with that later. That's like a whole other leaderboard that I have to deal with. If you're just tuning in, I'm getting very close to having GameOn like fully working in my game. It didn't take me long. It was mostly my own ignorance of how web APIs work. All right, so all this stuff printed out. We have our rank. We have our match ID. What I need to do is go through and players rank 1 best score. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to have in parentheses the score and then the rank value. And we'll do the best score. This is probably going to get really... So like just to get a sense of what this is going to look like. It'll be like something like that. Right? Like you'll have your current score for the game, and then on the right in parentheses will be the best score that you've done and what your rank is with that score. So in this case, it would be something like, what would it be? 843. Oh, I put that in the wrong place. 843. All right, so then you'd be ranked second. Maybe what I would do is second place. I mean, I don't know. I'm not terribly worried about this. I mean, this is such a proof of concept game. Basically, we would have that would be your rank. All right, so let's get this working now. So the next step of what we want to do is twofold. First, whenever we call this online rank thing, we need to get the actual match ID. So let's go instead of get rank, what I want is post scores, enter match, the match ID matches. All right, so what I want to do here is I want to replace this with an actual match. Get rank. You know what we could do? We could actually look at matches and pull out the match. Hold on. Let me see in a C# dictionary. Get key from value. Get by value key street value. All right, there we go. All right, so what we're gonna do here is on our leaderboard stats thing here. No, I want online rank. Before we here, what we're doing is match. Let's do var match. And here we would pass in the match ID. Get contains keys, contains value. Oh, why did I copy that? First or default? There we go. I knew it was going to be a link thing. First or default, let's include link. So the way we're starting out, I'm just going to make sure that we get the correct name for the match. Because we're going to come down here and we're going to add that as the key in the dictionary. All right, so we died. It goes through, it submits its score, matches, high scores is our stat that we're actually tracking right now. So that works out pretty well. What we need to do now is whenever we call get rank, if we already have the match ID, we want to, we're basically going to return that as a cache value. So we're going to do two things. I was just looking at the window. I didn't get much sleep last night, so I'm a little like not focused. What we want to do is clear the cache. So here we would do rank cache clear, and let's look at our game manager for a second. So on our game manager, what I wanted to find, I don't know where, online rank, where did I put online rank? Every time a game is over, whenever the game is over, we want to clear out the cache for the previous scores. So our game manager should contain the online rank, right? And we need to reference the stats. So here's our stats. And then the game manager itself needs a reference to private online rank. There should be a awake. So we're going to get a reference to this component, right? And then game over. Game over lock. What is this? When the player is killed, stats manager, reset stats, increase score, score manager, get scores, set best score, update, continue text, restart. There should be a place where we get component, rigid body, kill the player, time elapsed, best time, play clip, reset, stat, jump combo, increase score, get the score, score manager. There should be a place that, like, right before stats, get component, set active to true, reset game over lock. So before, I guess when the player dies, right here, clear cache. All right, so all right. So what we got to make sure, we got to be really careful right now, is that on our online rank, we don't want this to, basically when this is done, I'm going to have it automatically tell the, there was something here where I had, where the hell did I have stats? Get leaderboard. Right. So what's going to happen is that we're going to cache this and then we're going to say update stats. Now, when rank cache. So now what's going to happen is if we go to submit a score or get rank, we're going to return a string. And if ranked cache contains key stat return rank cache stat, else return none. So then we're going to call submit score, and we're going to return an empty string. So what that does is, theoretically, what's going to happen is that when it goes to display the score for the first time, yeah, I knew it was going to not be happy with this idea. So here, when we calculate the score rank, we return a thing, rank retriever. What is the rank retriever? Online rank. Rank retriever, fine. We're going to call this. I'm going to get rid of this, all this code. Return and add ordinal. We'll get rid of this. And now, all right, we're going to try to calculate the rank. We're going to pass in the stat, which will lead to the high scoreboard, and the value that's going to go into it. When we go to get our rank, if we already have gotten the rank, we're going to just return that. If we haven't, we're going to submit a score. And when we submit the score, that's going to go through this whole process of like entering the match, getting the match ID, entering the match, submitting the player, getting the rank, and then setting the cache. Once we set the cache, it's going to actually force it to update the display and redraw the display again, which will go through and make it redo everything. I need to be I got to double check this for a second here, because I don't want to, this might crash Unity. This might be an endless thing where it like constantly keeps trying to like make these calls until the server basically says, sit down, you're drunk. All right, let's die. Ooh, it worked. Look at that. Now, this only worked because here's what we've got to do. We need to come here and we need to flag this as loading so that we don't call it multiple times. Because we're only dealing with one stat, so you can't see it right now, but willing to bet any amount of money that it's going to break. Where did I put that that code? Get rank. So the first time that we call it, what we're going to do is we're always going to add the cache. I'm going to do this. If this contains the stat, I got to think through this real quick. What we want to do is if rank cache doesn't contain a stat, we're going to do rank cache stat loading. Well, we'll do add stat loading. Actually, we'll leave it as an empty string. And then we're going to, yeah, this is the best way to do it. All right, so for the first time, we're going to add an empty value, but then we're going to submit the score. And then no matter what, we're always going to return this rank cache. But then down here, what we're going to do is all right. I think that should work. Basically, what we're doing now is we're going to set the rank cache to empty. We'll return that every time we try to redraw the display. But when the request for the score is finally done, it will I'm sorry, I was just noticing I didn't put this in here right. And then what we'll do is it'll automatically fill this in and then request the update and get the new string. All right, this should work. I'm just kind of concerned that this is going to like happen for like all of them, but we'll see. I think my plan right now is to try to just get this running. Let's see if it'll update itself and redraw the display with the final rank. We'll go die. Oh, look at that. It re-updated itself. It took a while, right? It took like a split second, and then it updated itself with the best score. So now what we want to do is let's add the ranking for all the other things. Heh. This works. All right, so my theory goes like this. We're going to add a whole new leaderboard. And because of the way that I set this up, it's going to take like 2 seconds to add a new leaderboard. I'm hoping that this works. What we're going to try to do is set up a leaderboard for... let's set up a leaderboard for time. We'll start at the top and work our way down. If my mouse would not freeze. All right, so come here and we're going to create a new competition. And we're just going to call this time. And let's end this in 2019. And we want to start it at, it's 11 o'clock. So let's start it at 11:07, which will give me some time to get this thing going. We're going to have a billion players and a billion maximum attempts. Best single score wins. Let's make this start at 6. Nope, it's actually 6 right now, so let's make it start at 7. Impatient. All right, so create the new competition, or view the details. All right, so now what's happened is that we now have, if we look here, we have high scores, time, and each one of these, oh look, it shows you all the scores that were submitted. How awesome is that? All right. So now we have time. I gotta wait another minute, but I'm just gonna run this and see what happens without doing anything. Let's see if it actually will try to submit to that and give me an error. So by the time I probably die, it might be 11:07. All right, submitted score. High score here. Now I only see one score submitted. Let's try to rerun the game now and see if time works a little bit better. We'll do like a good run here. Let's see if we can get let's see if we can get something working. I'm gonna try to beat my high score. No! Failed. All right, so it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it saw the other leaderboard. So now what I got to figure out is how do I get this to work? So all right, let's start at the beginning. We have get the tournament list, get the matches. What I want to see is found match. Let's see what matches were found. All right, get success, found one match. So what I'm thinking has happened is that I haven't entered the other tournament. So because I haven't entered the other tournament, I've only have one match going. So now we need to add the logic so that we automatically enter a tournament. All right, let's run this one more time. We'll die, which was pretty easy because I wasn't really trying. And yeah, all right. So my best score was 843, and that's first. All right, so let's get out of this, and what we're going to do is the first thing we need to do is get the tournament list and enter the tournament. This is the part of the API that I don't follow very clearly, which is, let's see, 1922. Well, scores are working. Let's slow down this Pomodoro. All right, so we've done that, and the last task we're going to do is add other leaderboards. All right, so what we want to do is, I think when we authenticate, we're going to go through all the tournaments. We're going to get a list of all the tournaments, and we're going to make sure that the player is added to any of the tournaments that they're not part of. So on the get match list. So let's disable this for a second. You know what? Forget it. Before we even do anything, let's save the code. I do this like all the time where I'm like, no, let's try this one new thing, and then all of a sudden, before I know it, I've like broken my project and I can't figure out how to get back to where the code is. All right. All right, so we've added support for scores to GameOn. Let's do this. I'm gonna take a quick like 2-minute break. I'll be like right back. I just gotta go to the little boys' room. What is it? 11. Back at let's just make it 11:15. I'll be back at 11:15, which is like 3 minutes. And then once I come back, we're going to add in the other leaderboards, and then I got to stop at 12. So I'll be right back. I just noticed something. I think this leaderboard time isn't starting until PM EDT, May 10th. That's today at 11:07. Excuse me. Starts. We'll start in 11 hours and 52 minutes. All right. Well, I think the first problem we have is that this hasn't started yet. So, what's going on? May 10th at 11:07 p.m. Whoops. All right. Let's delete this. Let's just create a new one real quick. Create a new competition. We called it time. What we're trying to do is match up each of these leaderboards to, or each of these tournaments to the stats. So here's time. It's time. Let's make this AM. 11/16/2019. All right, so that is 10/10/11/16. It's going to give me the error that it's going to give me the error that it. I don't fill out the form fast enough. 15. Let's just do it at 17. That'll give me enough time to. Actually, no, I don't think there's anything else we need to do. So let's make it 16. Normally, you won't like do it like. See, now it's in the past. 17. Apply. Time. Publish competition. AM. View details. All right. So now, if we come back here, it says it starts in 40 seconds. So let's give it 40 seconds. And before we start writing any of that new code, what I want to make sure is that we may be able to enter a match. I don't know. I think I have to enter that tournament before it'll show up in the list of matches. So what we'll do is we'll go through and get the tournament list. I want to take a look at the tournament list API real quick. Where's my scroll wheel? Tournaments. And this should return a get developer tournament. No, I don't, is it? Tournaments. Get the list of tournaments for a desired period, optionally filtered by the. See more information about the tournament. All right, active session ID, right. Okay, so then we get the developer tournament response. Expiration, optional prize ID, title. But then when we enter it, that's when we get the match. Enter tournament response, right. Then we get the match. So what we're going to have to look for is the error. If enter tournament request, the ID of the match player wasn't entered, the tournament metadata was passed in time. Tournament ID. Where's the get prize? Oh, these are the responses. Tournaments enter. There should be a tournament enter right here, and the error is invalid parameter. Oh, there is forbidden. Tournament's full. No available matches to enter. Player does not meet match requirements. Right. So we got to look for see if we get a 409 error, and if we get a 409 error, we're going to look at the response text and see if the player is already in it. If the player is already in it, then we're just going to ignore that. All right, so let's go into Unity. I'm just going to run this real quick. I just want to see what there's probably no. It probably won't enter that match anyways. So let's see here. Found. Found 0 matches. Found 1 match. Right, okay. It didn't find that tournament. The tournament has started now. Let's just double check. Right, so the tournament is on, or the competition is on. It's like weird. We say competition, but in the documentation it says tournament. All right, I'll add that to my my notes when I meet with the team next week. So that being said, what we got to figure out is instead of when we authenticate, we need to go through all the tournaments and create a queue to enter them. So test match list. So all right, we're going to, this is tournaments. I actually want to make a let me get rid of this real quick and get rid of this. So, all right, so this works at this worked for like one item. What we got to do now is we're gonna make a we're gonna make something that goes through and tries to enter all of the tournaments to get match IDs. So let's do public. We'll make this private. So private list tournament. And we'll call this tournaments. All right. And then we're going to come through here, and as we come through and test, we're going to find a tournament. We're going to basically add the tournament. Whoops. We're going to add T. So we're going to add the tournament to this thing. Then, after we've done the for loop, we want to private void enter. Actually, we're going to do this as a I enumerator. Enter tournament. And what we're going to do is if tournaments list count is equals 0, to do we've entered all tournaments. Else to do enter tournament, then start, well, we would enter the tournament and then pass void. We would enter the tournament and then we would to do call this again after entering. So what we got to do is we're going to build up this queue and then to do remove tournament from list. All right, let's see. So tournaments, how about this? We'll do a private list tournament I should probably learn how to spell tournament, probably important. Tournament, tournaments to enter equals new list. And then here we'll just I gotta see something real quick. I gotta see if there's a view. I swear there's like a plugin manager or something for preferences. Spell. There's no spell check yet, which is sort of annoying. Browse repositories. Does this work for sure, let's install this. Oh, did I not save that? Idiot. Well, I would rather not misspell everything, so we'll accept that. I had to retype things on GameOn. GameOn. Whenever I read the GameOn name, I think of Wayne's World, where they're playing hockey in the street and like a car comes and they're like car, and then like I believe they say Game On after. Maybe that was like the intention. All right, so tournaments to enter. Enter first tournament in tournaments to enter list. Copy tournament. Guess spell check isn't working. Copy tournament to new list. Remove from to enter. Preferences, plugins, spell checker, standard English dictionary. All right. Well, it told me that though it can't figure that out, but it's not spell checking. Oh, come on, I just need a spell checker. So what does this do? Whatever. All right. So we're going to enter the tournament. All right. So we got to just set up this callback system now. So let's duplicate this, stop this, and we're going to call test get tournament. I also want to go in here and go into here, and I want to get rid of all this stuff. Oops, and let's see now if this runs. Probably shouldn't have been making all those changes while I was running the game. All right, so as you can see, we found the high scores and we found time, right? And now what we need to do is, now we need a way of checking that the player has actually entered the tournament. And that's what I didn't really follow before from the documentation. So let's figure that part out. So here we're going to tournaments to add, enter. Great. At the very end, we're going to call enter tournament. Tournaments. Right? And so if the tournaments are done, we're going to call the get match list. So right now I'm going to stop this for 1 second, and I just want to call start coroutine test get match list. Let's refactor, rename get match list, right? So what we're going to do is that this is going to be equal to 0, and then it's just going to call the get match list. It's going to enter all the matches, and then, or it's going to enter the match that we're already in, and then we're going to still be able to submit a high score. So let's test that out and make sure that that works. If you're just tuning in, I've actually gotten most of Amazon's new GameOn service working in my Endless Runner. I'm just in the process of cleaning things up. I'm doing it a little backwards from how I guess you really are supposed to implement it, which is sort of what I do anyways. I never do things the way you're supposed to. Perfect. Response, we've submitted the score. So the current score was 137, but our best score was 843. And we're in first place because I'm the only one playing it right now. So, all right, so that's the end result. Now the next thing that I want to do real quick is I just want to make sure that we get the match list. Player match, matches, add match, and then whenever we submit a score, we need to make sure that we've already entered the match. Okay, so this get match list should work fine. Perfect. There's nothing else we need to do there. All we need to do now is add this code here to enter in the new tournament. And then once I enter in the tournament, I'm going to create competitions for each one of the stats in the game. So the first thing we're going to do is, so tournament, we're going to do the first var t equals tournaments to enter dot remove. Well, let's do 0. That'll get us the first tournament, and then what we're going to do is we need to create a method for entering the tournament. So what I want to do next is tournaments to enter dot remove at 0, right? So we're going to get the first tournament in the, oh my god, I can't spell tournament. Tournament. Get the first tournament in the list. Remove first tournament from the list. And now what we need is a start coroutine enter tournament. And we're going to need to create a new thing. Now I saw there was a enter tournaments, test tournament. Enter tournaments, start coroutine. Oh, okay, all right. Enter, we're going to call enter tournaments. So we need to create a new private I enumerator. Enter tournament. Again, oh my god, tournament. I have like this thing with like muscle memory. Like once I misspell a word, I'll continue to misspell it for the rest of my life. All right, so we're gonna enter this tournament, right? And now we're going to yield break or yield return game API dot enter tournament, and the enter tournament needs a tournament ID, so we'll do tournament dot tournament ID, and then it needs a response equals text equals this. So there's a few things. There's a few things that we need to do. Based on, first off, if we've never entered the tournament before, what we're going to do is simply just call enter tournaments back again. Seems easy enough, right? So let's just do print entering entering tournament tournament title, right? So that's going to enter the title, and then we're going to call enter tournament again, and that'll just continue the loop. So once we call enter tournament again, what's going to happen is it will test to see if we're out of tournaments to enter, and then go and get the match list. If not, it will go and get the next item in the tournament list, which will be the first item. It'll remove it, so the next time we call this, let's do it, and then we'll start the coroutine back over again. I think we've done all this, so that's good to go. The next thing we need to do is, if we've already entered this tournament, well, I actually kind of feel like we don't really need to worry about print text, convert group to method. Yeah, fine. All right, it'll just print the text. That's fine. That's a neat trick. I like that. What we're going to do is, I think no matter what, every time we try to enter a tournament, we're going to do it. If we fail, we'll just fail silently. In fact, what I want to do is actually just do print until I can figure out a better way of knowing whether I'm in a tournament or not. That's just sort of what we're going to do. Again, I'm like doing this backward. This is not like the original. Like normally you would just click on the tournament you want to enter. I wanted to get it to where like I don't want the player to have to think about it. They're just always entered in tournaments. It's always going to be running, and you're going to get these high scores based on all of the stuff. And then at the end, every week, I'll do a 1 week prize and give out something, or maybe I'll do like a monthly prize. I don't know. I have to see how much money I want to put into this. Maybe someone on the team will sponsor me and give me some, like, there's got to be like $1 or something or other I can give out on Amazon. So the whole thing is you can actually give out real prizes, which is kind of cool. So that's the next thing I need to start getting working. Everyone's like really quiet on chat today. I haven't seen anyone really talking. You guys can talk. It's all good. I feel like I was streaming earlier, but I thought I was streaming, but it wasn't streaming. Yeah, it looks like my stream's still live. All right, I got to stop in 20 minutes, or I'm never going to be able to get lunch today with all my meetings. As much as I'd love to sit here and code all day long. All right, let's see if this works. So basically what should happen now is we'll clear this, and it should now enter the first tournament. Or it should enter the time tournament for us automatically. Let me pause this for a second. So success, found 2 tournaments, found high score, found time. Match, success, 1 match, found the match of high score, 0. Doesn't look like it actually entered the tournament though. Let me see something. Let me clear this, and now when our game's over, let's see what the score if it submits to multiple scores. Score submitted. Found match, high scores. All right, it doesn't look like it actually entered the match. Or entered the tournament. Entering tournament, start coroutine. Oh, I know why. Because I'm not adding these tournaments now to the queue. All right, now this should work. Which is what, like I say, every time I come back to Unity. Or then Unity just like crashes on me or something awesome. All right, let's pause this for a second and let's see what happened here, because we got a lot more output than last time. We got our session ID. We found 2 tournaments, high scores and time. Now what we've done is we've gone through and the player has joined the maximum number of matches for this tournament, which is fine. That's an okay error. That just means that we're already in it. Tournament generic HTTP request call. We're entering this next tournament. Dispose of, entered the tournament time. We just entered the tournament. Now we get the matches. We got 2 matches. Wow, I'm excited. This all works. It was a little challenging in the beginning when I wasn't really understanding how to do the HTTP request calls, but now everything is working. Now that I understand that. Once I take Peter's code and make this like super generic and reusable, it's going to be awesome. I'm going to try to make this as like easy. Oh, here we go. So now we just stopped. Our time was 8. Yep. And look, we got ranks. We got ranks for both of our contests. So now, because I've made this in such a generic way, what we can do, this is going to be cool. All right, let's come in here. And the last thing I'm going to do is, let me stop this Pomodoro. And then our last sort of Pomodoro-ish thing, let me see, add other leaderboards. We're sort of almost through there. I just got to double check my meetings real quick. Let me just see here. I have all right, I should have enough time in meeting, enough time for my meeting. We can go till about like 12:10 or something. All right, so let's add some more competitions. So our competitions are going to be just based on the stats in the game. So let's do our steps taken. We want to start at 11:43 a.m. and end this here and do 1 million or 1 billion players and publish the competition. So let's create a new competition. Oh, they're gonna love me. The team's like, why does Jesse have like 1 million competitions going on? It's because I love GameOn that much that I decided to just add as many competitions as I could. AM and make this 19. Apply zombie. Publish competition. Please fix the above errors. Oh, right. Nope. All right. Let's create a new competition. So watch this. Because everything's like really dynamic, what's going to happen is it's going to be smart enough to go through and find leaderboards based on the name alone, and then automatically join them and start submitting scores. All right, so let's publish this competition. Whoops, what did I need to fix? Oh. Publish the competition, create a new competition. AM 45, we'll make this 19, apply. All right, publish a competition, create a new competition. Just creating tons of competitions. We'll do zombie dog, and then we're gonna leave the last competition for another day. All right, let's hit apply. All right, let's do that, and let's publish this competition. Oops, happened in the past. Wasn't quick enough. All right, so we now have all of these competitions. I'm waiting for this last one to start. And then once this last one starts, we will we'll run the game. Oops, I hit the mic. Sorry. We'll run the game, and then every time we play the game, it's going to start submitting the score. You can already see time has been submitted. So this is pretty good. All right. Start in 5 seconds. I'm impatient. So again, so the way I've structured it is this. Normally, you'd create a competition for like a set amount of time. I'm just using them as like really like long-term leaderboards. And then I'm going to have one that is a recurring every week competition that will take the best scores of that week and then offer out a prize of some sort. You know, it'd be kind of cool. It'd be kind of cool, like the person who wins that week gets like a special character. I mean, I think it's cool because it wouldn't cost me any money. But I don't know, maybe like you could do something where like you're decorated a certain way and everyone's always competing to see who the best one is. The other thing that I need to do is add a random seed so that people are doing the same obstacle course each week. But let's try this. All right, so it just entered all of those. Whoops, and I died. That was anticlimactic. But look, we're rewarded by all of these rankings. How great is that? I love it. All right, so we have now entered every single contest. And the player hasn't had to do anything. Now, like, some of the ways that we would tie this in is that I want to display that we're like logging into GameOn, and then it'll run the game before it'll only run the game once we get to GameOn. But I'll clean that stuff up a little bit later. Let's just give this a try and see what happens. Nope, I died. Oh, that's so good. It works. I mean, of course I'm number one because I'm the best. So now the real test, and what the absolute like beauty of GameOn is really going to be the fact that I'm going to compile this to like every platform, and everyone competes against each other, and there's like all the same contests. Now I could do contests for like desktop or mobile or whatever, but I kind of like the idea that like there's just one code base and there's one set of leaderboards. And I mean, this kind of game, I don't think there's an advantage on the desktop over like the phone or a tablet or a console. I will get this to run on Xbox One. That is like, I gotta really go through and there's like some weird things that I just need to clean up. I don't know why it wasn't going. I'm going for gold. I'm gonna give you like the highest score. Let's see how we can do this. No, oh, I lost my combo, but I can still jump. No, and I died. But that's an impressive score. Look at that. And I'm still first place on all of them. Ah, this is so exciting. This is exactly what I needed. Yeah, look, we're submitting all these scores. Everything is looking good. I was trying to take a picture of it, but it's probably worth emailing the team that made the plugin. Trent Sterling. Oh my God. It's Trent, everyone. He shows up exactly at the time I'm about to end my stream. It has been a while. Trent, how's it going, man? Trent and I used to be Twitch BFFs, but then I stopped doing Twitch. And I don't know, I think you stopped doing games. Or something. You stopped you stopped streaming for a while. All right, so, and look, and we're back. Yeah, it looks familiar. We're back where we started. Well, this is sort of my go-to game for whenever I need to like learn something or teach things. So right now I'm working on, there's a new service that Amazon released called GameOn, where it's like a contest where you could do real-world prizes to your games. So I've been adding it to this game. It definitely looks familiar. Trent and I were going to do a version of this game and like sort of clean it up, but I think we both lost interest. All right. I'm very happy about this. I think the last thing we want to do is I'm going to make one weekly recurring contest and see how that goes. But yeah, this is cool. In fact, what I want to do is I want to go into, where is the asset store? Games asset store. Oh, Unity 2017 or 18. You're awesome. Oh, there you go. It's finally loading. It looks good. Yeah, it looks the same. It's the same. What are you up to, Trent? Enough about me. I've talked about myself for the past 2 hours. What are you up to these days? You got to see the really cool stuff I'm working on. This is just the beginning of the stuff. What did they do to the asset store? My purchases. No procrastinating. Oh, nothing's changed. What are you procrastinating in? VS Code. I'm looking for advanced. Where's my advanced builder? Of course it's not like alphabetical order. Why would that happen? Oh, let's just type for it. No, I don't want to search the asset store. I want to, oh my, well, this redesign's special. I want my purchases. Come on, no, go back. By the way, I have such a fast internet connection. I don't know why this thing is running so slow. My downloads. Type here to search assets. Shop the old. Well, why can't I filter? It used to be you could search your own things. Really? I guess it's in order of when I bought it. Advanced Builder, finally. Oh, that worked. We're into some weird Arduino type stuff with WebSockets. Oh, hey, I just learned how to do web stuff for this project. I haven't done a lot of web stuff in like years. And even when I did, I was never the person who did the web requests. I was always the person who did who basically did an API update. Yeah, I made a backup. Go ahead, sure, whatever. Hopefully this doesn't break. I don't know if Advanced Builder actually works in Unity 2018, so. That'd be a negative. Cannot implicitly convert type Unity Builder report to build report. All right, let me see if I can fix that real quick. What doesn't it like here? Sure. Let's just ignore that for a second. Oh, wait. We need that. Cannot convert source type Unity build report to target type string. All right. Well, what does it return? Build summary, get type to string. Any chances this is going to work? Let's do this. It'll just fail silently for right now. Well, how do you know if a build fails? Name, steps, stripping info, hide flags, token must equal, not equal. Well, summary dot results, total errors, int. Sure, why not? If total errors is greater than 0, I love that I'm fixing a plugin. Summary total errors, size, total warnings equals. Let's just assume that we could output summary to string and call it a day. All right. If you're tuning in, I finally, it hasn't taken me very long. It's only been like 5 or 6 hours collectively of me muddling through how WebSockets work, because I don't know. Getting GameOn to work in my game. So let's see. Now, what do I want to do? I want to open up Advanced Builder. By the way, Advanced Builder is one of my favorite components. It allows you to generate out multiple builds for a game. We're going to call this bad boy 1.0. Release. So that's new. I don't need any of this. We just need delete, delete. We're going to call this Super Zombie Runner Game On. Jesse Freeman Super Zombie Runner Game On. Product name Super Zombie Runner Game On. We'll call this the release build. And all I need to do, well, we can do an Amazon App Store. That'd probably be the best place to start. Add a distribution platform for Android. No, I don't remember any of this stuff. I think I want an ARM v7. I don't think. Well, we can just build all of them. What do I care? We'll use generic texture thing. We have added a Linux Universal. We are most definitely doing iOS. We are going to do a Windows build. We'll do an x86 and an 8664. I don't think I've ever gotten that one to run. We'll do a Mac build. I'm on a Mac. What's up with that? x86. We're going to do, I'm not doing a Windows, I don't think I can do a Windows store in here. We're going to do a WebGL. Let's add that bad boy in. And we're just going to call this my site. Call this itch.io. Oh, no likey the period, huh? We'll call it itch. It's fine. So, are you back streaming just for the project, or are you going to stream more? Yeah, I'm streaming. I'm back. I'm back at the App Store. So, I was on a few different teams and doing a few different things over the past like 2 years at Amazon. I sort of go where they need me. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'm not. I don't know. At my point in my career, I've accepted the fact that I'm just a pawn in someone else's game. So what is ho? Who typed that in here? I didn't. Release. Hey ho, I get it. Ha ha ha. Funny. All right, let's do an Amazon. I only think I need an Amazon ARM v7, an iOS build, a 86. I'm going to start with an 86, an x86, a Linux Universal, and an itch build. But I'm definitely not going to run that. Let's just do this. I'm just going to run a Mac build to see if this works. So I've been streaming every day from around like 9 to 10 o'clock to about like 12 to 1. I got to stop soon. I have a meeting that I got to prepare for. But let's build this. I just want to see if this works on the desktop. It should. I don't know why it wouldn't. Because the target was unsupported. What? Error. Building player because target was unsupported. Huh? Builds are done. Did it actually build anything? Apply this config. Build. I have a feeling that me patching that thing didn't work. Do stuff before build. Editor, report, build summary. Let's do this real quick. Let's ignore this stuff right now. Just see if this works. But Trent, I have... In the 2.5 years since we've talked, Pixel Vision 8 is like a real thing. My game engine is good. In fact, my mission next week is to get Pixel Vision off of Unity. I've had enough of Unity. Whoa! All right, because this target is unsupported. Why would the Mac not be supported? All right, let me try the other thing. Am I like just like totally spacing out on what build to use for a Mac? Apply this config. Error was target was unsupported. Huh, I don't think Advanced Builder works in Unity 2018. Yeah, I'm building on a Mac. Hey, you know what? Let's just do it the old-fashioned way. Build settings. I love Advanced Builder. I don't know why it's not working. Oh, look. Oh, tell me it's been building the whole time. Son of a... No, it hasn't been building. It was a lie. I wonder if there's some setting. The problem is like I always set up Advanced Builder once, and then I never like remember how the hell I set it up. So let me just do a regular build. Build settings. Build and run. We'll save this to builds, and we'll just call this Super Zombie Runner Game On. Actually, we'll just do it this way. Mac. I just want to test this last thing, and then I got to get out of here. My wife is out of town now, so I had to take the kids to school and everything in the morning. And normally I would start the stream a little earlier, but it ate into most of my morning. So that became a problem. But I'll be back tomorrow. I think now that I got... Oh, yeah. It's probably playing the music. Sorry. It might be playing that music really loud, huh? All right. Running. I'm hoping this shows up as a new player. Huh. It didn't get the score. Let's try that again. All right. Well, that's why I needed to test it. I'll have to figure out now why it's not getting the score. I have a feeling that it probably just isn't authenticating or something. I got to go through and look at the log output. But all right, we can debug and test that another day. But for the most part, at least it works in the editor. I'll just send everyone a copy of this project, and they can run in their own version of Unity. Right? Isn't that like the ideal situation? I'll have to get Advanced Builder and all that other stuff working. Whoa. I am now ranked second? Why am I ranked second? Did something get cleared that I don't know about? All of a sudden I think it thinks it's a new player. I wonder why. Let's see. Is that... all right. It doesn't like that idea. All right. Well, hey, something's working. So I'll go through... Oh, I can't quit this game. At least we got the foundation in place. That's all that really matters. So, all right, cool. Thanks, everyone, for watching. I got to end this stream. I'll play around this a little bit more and then figure out what's going on. In fact, let's look at... Let me log back in. There's my personal email if anyone wants it. Let's look at the scores. All right, so it counted the person as a new player. That's kind of weird. All right, I just got to debug it. There's a few steps that I'm sure I'm missing with like authentication and saving the session key and all that kind of stuff. So I've just been taking like a debug harness and getting it to work, but cool. We're actually doing it. So anyways, thanks for playing, or thanks for watching. What I'd like to do is get to the point of where we could have builds and then everyone could sort of get the build and play along with me. I could probably do some cool stuff around that. Git commit added new tournaments and advanced builder. Cool. Whoops, I don't have anywhere to push because I'm not pushing anywhere. So cool. Thanks, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow. And hey, Trent, just DM me or something, man. It'd be good to catch up. Yeah, I'll be around more regularly, and hopefully I'll try to catch your stream if you're still streaming. Peace.